we are going to discuss on social organization in animals and social interaction among individuals. Introduction: few animals live solitary lives, most needing at least a mate from among their own species. Many animals live in groups which may be temporary or permanent. Here a distinction can be made between an aggregation, a group of animals which came together for some external reasons, and a society where the parents and the offspring remain together for a long periods, kept in association by mutual behavior. Thus, a society can be defined as a group of individuals belonging to the same species and organized in a cooperative manner. A pair of animals engaged in basic courtship and sexual activities is not included in this definition, nor are individuals who simply defend their territories from one another. Sexual behavior and territoriality are important properties of societies and are correctly referred to as social behavior, but having them is not sufficient to qualify a group as a society. Bird flocks, wolf packs, fish schools and locust swarms are good examples of true elementary societies. Structure of social organization. A society has no defined structure but have certain properties. Wilson and Brown 1975 independently proposed following characteristics of social groups. Number 1. One of the most significant characteristics of social behavior involves the number of animals of the same species that actively come together or remain together in a group. The minimum level of sociality, that is, the smallest social group, is found between a male and female who interact only during breeding season or between mother and infant. Number 2. Types and extent of connectedness between members within the group. Number 3. Reciprocal communication occurs for attracting and keeping the members of a group together. The communication may be visual, auditory, olfactory or tactile. Number 4. Much social behavior is marked by division of labor and specialization of members according to their social roles. Example: queen, drone and workers in honeybee society. Number 5. A feature of social group in many species is an overlap of generations, that is, families or pan of families may stay together, for example, parents defending or protecting their young ones. Number 6. Eusocial animals have the highest level of social behavior called altruistic behavior or aid-giving behavior. The most extreme forms of altruistic behavior induces the sacrifice of one's life and reproduction for the sake of its colony, for example, ants, bees, wasps and termites, etc. Properties of organized animal society. Eisenberg 1965 has proposed the following 4 vital qualities of organized societies. Number 1. Communication. All organized societies of animals have some form of communication system. The members of a social group make gestures, postures, change color, raise hairs, they scent mark, that is by pheromones, and communicate through vocalization. They may convey messages by touching each other or have some specialized form such as echolocation in bats, round and waggle dance in bees. Communication in higher animals is generally quite elaborate. For example, in chimpanzees, the facial expression along with vocalization communicates various forms of emotions and message. Number 2. Cohesion. The individuals constituting a society tend to remain in close proximity to one another. For example, all the bees of a group live in one hive. The individuals in a herd of deer, pride of lions and pigs of wolves remain in close vicinity in a given home range. Number 3. Division of labor. In organized societies, animals of different status sexes or age groups have different functions in maintaining the society. For example, honeybees, wasps, termites, ants, baboons, macaw, etc. Number 4. Permanence and impermeability. The individuals making up a society tend to be same. There is little migration from the group. In most mammals, the core of the group is formed by females who are related to each other. The males come and go, otherwise, the membership among females is permanent. Most organized societies resist immigration by outsiders. Advantages of social behavior. Sociality confers several advantages over an isolated mode of living. Some of the advantages of social behavior are the following. Number 1. Anti-predation. Here we will see alarm calls, guard behavior, mutual vigilance, induction of starter response in predators, geometrical effects, mobbing. Alarm calls. Sociality enhances defense against predators, for a number of individuals can be put on alert for detection of an enemy. Improved detection of predators. With more eyes and ears, there is an increased chance that one or more individuals will detect a predator before the others and be able to warn rest of the group. For example, in a group of deers or monkeys, one or two individuals will give alarm calls at the sight of approaching predator and the rest of the group members will take advantage of it. Guard behavior. Animals also show guard behavior in which one or a few individuals assume the role of watching for the entire group. They thus free others almost completely from the job of vigilance. For example, adult males of some of the monkey groups such as Hanuman langur occupy the highest canopy and remain vigilant for intruding members of all male groups and for predators. Mutual vigilance. This behavior has been observed among members of different species. Social animals living in the same habitat respond to the alarm calls given by the members of other species. For example, baboons, zebras, gazelles often forage together and each species respond to warning signals of each other. Induction of startle response in predators. Erratic fight and explosive scattering form a vital anti-predatory behavior. Fleeing along an unpredictable path is a common defensive tactic in herding animals. Wild beasts form a herd of 500 to 1000 individuals. They start running in all directions in a very confusing manner as the predator approaches. Geometrical effects. Social grouping provide a provision of formidable opposition against enemy. It is established that collection of weak forces proves to be winner against the lonely might. Predator bird, hawk prey upon wood pigeon. It was observed that attack success of hawk decreased as the flock size of a wood pigeons increased. Further, due to geometrical effects, it is most likely that predators attack individuals on the periphery of a group. Prey animals in groups should therefore gain protection by remaining in or moving towards the center of a group. Mobbing. Running away or fleeing is the most commonly used anti-predatory strategy among animals. However, there are examples when adult animals, generally males, mob a predator or form a defensive screen to scare it away. Soldiers or workers of social insects defend colonies by collectively attacking. Number 2. Feeding efficiency and information sharing. Here we see cooperation, ant behavior, culture. Cooperation. It is easier for a group of animals to catch a prey instead of catching it alone. Thus, cooperative foraging is beneficial. For example, for a group of monkeys, it is easier to locate a bonanza of fruits. Early in the morning, members of a monkey group will spread and roam around in search of food, and even if one individual locates the food, it communicates vocally to other members of the groups, which get the benefit of this information. In a similar way, by cooperative hunting, even small carnivores such as wild dogs and wolves can hunt big animals such as moose, mountain sheep and zebras. Ant behavior. The animals of a group can leave their young ones with other group members and go foraging. For example, the pups of wild dogs, wolves and lions are often attended by few adults, while other pack members can go out hunting. In a group of Hanuman langurs, the related adult females temporarily take away the infants from mother to enable her to forage. This behavior is called ant behavior. Culture. A particular skill once discovered by an inmate suddenly or by trial and error persistence throughout the group. For example, in England, just a few titmice birds started eating cream from milk bottles, and gradually it became a major nuisance because hundreds of these birds learned by watching each other to open the milk bottles left on porches by milkmen. Number 3. Facilitation of reproduction. Group living improves reproductive success. For example, in solitary animals such as rhino and organogutan, it is difficult for them to find a mate. They have to cover large areas in forest, spend time and energy to find a suitable mate, but be easier to find each other in a larger social group. In a group, watching others courting and mating initiates behavior in other members also. Social organization of invertebrate groups. In invertebrates, social organization are seen in coelenterate, that is in hydra, and in arthropods. In arthropods group, two orders Hymenoptera and Isoptera possesses social organization of insects. Ants, bees and wasps come under Hymenoptera group, whereas termites fall under Isoptera group. Social insects exhibit remarkable organizational capacities where every individual performs its task well. We discuss social system in honeybee. Honeybees lives in colonies of 100 bees. Each colony has a queen which is somewhat larger than the worker bees. The queen lays the egg which develop into the new workers, drones and queens. She also emits a complex series of chemical secretions, the pheromones, that regulate much of the behavior of the workers. Genetically, both queens and workers are diploid and both are females. Queens, however, are fed a special rich larval food, a white, foamy, yogurt-like royal jelly that is necessary for normal queen size and sexual development. In fact, worker can be developed into sexually reproducing females, but their reproductive organs are kept undeveloped through influence of queen's pheromone. Drones are haploid genetically and are males that are produced by the laying of unfertilized eggs, that is parthenogenetically. Drones are produced at the same time as new queens. When a hive of honeybees prepare to swarm, or when an old queen became weak, the regulating pheromones of the queen became weak. This serves as signal for workers to begin raising new queen larvae. When a new queen hatches out and develops, she kills any other newly hatched rivals and flies off to mate. By this time, drones have left the hive and have aggregated in traditional site in large flying clouds. The drones from several neighboring hives may also combine in such a cloud. When newly hatched queens approach such a drone cloud and mate with several of them in succession, the new queen then returns to her hive, lays her eggs and regulates the behavior of workers. A honeybee worker lives for about 6 weeks as an adult and her activities are to some extent synchronized with her physiology. Thus, she spends the first 3 days cleaning out cells and then begins feeding the older larvae, and they secrete the so-called royal jelly, and from about the 6th to 14th day of her life, the worker feeds this secretion to the younger larvae and any queen larvae in the hive. The worker's wax secreting glands on the abdomen became active from the 10th day, and at the same time the phalangeal glands began to regress. Worker gradually changes her behavior from feeding larvae to cell construction. From about 18th day, she may leave the hive, occasionally for a few brief orientation flights. At this stage, she may be found guarding the hive entrance and inspecting incoming bees. From 21st day of age onwards, the worker brings back nectar, pollen and water and usually remains so for the rest of the life, that is 2 to 3 weeks. A beehive is a marvelous society. It has elaborate mechanisms that maintain hive homeostasis. When the hive is hot, worker bees fan air throughout it and cool it off. When the nurse workers attending the larvae are short of water, they turn to the nearest workers and signal a need for water. The latter gives what water they have and then turn to their neighbors. Thus, the shortage of water moves from bee to bee until it reaches a worker who leaves the hive and return with more water. When a predator or parasite enters the hive, workers rush forward and defend the colony, with the result they may die. Social organization of vertebrate groups. Many fishes, amphibians, reptiles and mammals, including man, have organized themselves to live in groups or societies. Here we will discuss mammals. Social organization of mammals. Mammals tend to be either solitary, where the most complex social unit is the mother with her young, or polygynous. Complex social organization has evolved in some species in nearly all mammalian orders, especially marsupials, carnivores, ungulates and primates. Cooperative rearing of young, that is, non-mothers nursing or providing food for young, is not common. It does occur in social carnivores. For example, lionesses share the nursing of cubs in the pride, and subordinate wolves regurgitate food for the females and her litter. In the banded mongoose, Mungos mungo of Africa, several females breed synchronously, giving birth in a communal den and nursing each other's offsprings. Although the dwarf mongoose Helagela parvula is monogamous, it lives in packs of about 10 individuals. As in wolves, breeding is suppressed among subordinate females. These non-reproductives lactate and help nurse the young of the dominant female. Rodents such as house mice and white-footed mice may form communal nests with several litters of different ages present. Jarvis, 1981, recently demonstrated the first case of mammalian eusociality in the naked mole rat Heterocephalus glaber. In them, only one female in the colony ever had young. Mother and a young were fed but not nursed by male and female adults of the worker caste. Members of this caste were not seen to breed. Another caste of non-workers assisted in keeping the young ones. Males of this caste breed with the female reproductive. This species fits our criteria for eusociality since there is cooperative care of young, there is a reproductive caste with non-reproductive caring of the reproductives, and there are offspring assisting parents in rearing siblings. In the large multi-male groups found in many old world monkeys and apes, we do not see the division of labor characteristic of colonial invertebrate or eusocial insects in any of the primates, but social roles are characteristic of some species. Many monkeys carry their young ones with their bodies till they have attained certain maturity and learn many of the routine tasks like feeding and drinking. Baby monkeys are separated from their mother, cry in distress till the mothers find their babies and pick them up quickly. This shows that a strong bond of love exists among the baby monkeys and their mother. In such case, even death of babies may occur in the absence of the mother. Such behavior is also seen in apes. In rhesus monkey, Macaca mulatta, the highest ranking males act as control animals. These males protect the group against serious extra-group challenges and reduce intra-group conflict by intervening in fights among group members. Since learning and early experience play a large part in determining social structure in primates, flexibility is perhaps the hallmark that sets primates apart from other groups of mammals. Let us summarize this topic. At the end, to conclude, this topic described structure of social organization. It is further followed by note on properties of organized animal society and advantages of social behavior. Further, the lesson explored social organization of invertebrate and vertebrate groups, which paved the way in understanding social system in honeybee and mammals respectively. Thus, in this manner, complete social organization in animals and social interaction among individuals has been studied.